Welcome to the daily political tarot readings, political tarot and astrology here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, I'm just cleaning up my nails a little bit. You know, sharpening, not really sharpening, but I'm actually taking the edges off. But, oh, we've got something to talk about today. We'll get to it in just a minute, but let me give you a preview. Ron DeSantis is going to announce his run for the presidency today at about 6 p.m. Today, Ron DeSantis at 6 p.m. has some of the worst astrology I've ever seen. Really? I mean, it's bad. Flower, guys, L Flower 1 stars, who cares? Valerie Sargent says yawn. Oh, no. Oh, no. You need to see just how bad it is, because it's like, ooh, that's why that's part of why I'm sharpening my nails right now. It's bad. Okay, we'll get there. Hi. I'm here 365 days of the year to take your political questions out of the chat. Just leave your questions in the chat before I come on. 10% of my income from everything Black and Orange gross, this is before expenses, goes to Feeding America, which supplies food to food banks across the country. I just saw in the corner of my eye, Never said, is it popcorn bad? And my brain went, ooh, bag of popcorn. It's like, no, banks, food banks across the country. If you're watching this on replay, hello, you can go down the description box. All the questions are there. Everything's timestamped as I go. And we have an excellent community. We have got epic troll slayers, and we have got a fantastic community because of you. You've been so kind to each other. You've been so kind to me. Thank you. And if you wouldn't mind hitting the like button and subscribing, if you're coming back, if you're, because I'm always here 365 days of the year. So yeah, click or join. Or Patreon Saturday night. We've got our Patreon monthly meet and greet. You can come on camera with me. There's a group of us, and we talk. We talk. All right, and these are today's nails. Aren't they fabulous? Same thing here. All right. Ricky says, and the star of the show, the only cat with typo negative blood and albums. Boo Boo Zen Kitty. Ta-da! He's asleep. All right, the cat hair. Oh, there it is. There we go. Got it. Okay. Electrostorm said, I loved you and Andre together. I learned a lot. Oh, nice. Oh, Susan, is it Ailes? My 4 kitties say hi. Alex, Jamie, Indy, and Bunny. You Bunny. Okay. All right. So he said, you've already put a smile on my face with Ron DeSatan and bad astrology. He should crawl back into the fascist hole he climbed out of. Yes, right under the, right back under that rock. Lois McDonald says, nails are wicked nice. Thank you. Okay, I've got the video of Andre and I together. I'm actually going to be adding some graphics to it and then putting it up on this channel with his total okay. And it was his idea to give me my own copy so I could put it on my channel. I mean, usually when I visit somebody, I just assume it's only going to be on theirs, but I want to put some graphics on there to help better explain what we're talking about. Okay, enough of that. Are you ready? Now, if you're not into astrology, I understand. That's why I want to put graphics on the discussion I had with Andre to try to make it a little easier for people to understand. And I did not have time to do a full like I put together basic graphics, but I didn't have time to put in the written descriptions and all of this. But just follow along. What will probably be the title of today's video: Worst Astrology Possible. Ron DeSatan announces he's running for president in 2024. So this evening at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, DeSatan is going to be on Twitter audio with Elon Musk to announce his run for the presidency. And I so rarely agree with Trump, but I believe Trump came out and said, that should work well with him. That way he doesn't have to talk to people. I do love when they go after each other. Oh yeah, he's like that. Oh, I've noticed that too. Oh, whew, boy, that's bad. Oh man. Yeah, that's, yeah. Oh, nice burn. Oh yeah. Okay, let's look. Okay, let's look. All right. Share screen. Astrology. Let me just make sure you can see it and take down the overlay here. All right. And there's no guarantee. I'm afraid there's no guarantee you'll be able to see this. I'll explain the best I can. All right, because I do have some graphics. Okay, so I have said many a time, thank God for stupid criminals. Well, thank God fascists are stupid too, and often criminals. But thank God fascists are stupid too. And even though I did not, as I actually talked about with Andre, I should have sat down and figured out when to start my LLC, my business, my little business, and chosen the most fortuitous time astrologically, but it just happened. And so I'm dealing with what I've got, which is good and bad. But okay, now just that's funny. Read meant it looks really right-winged. That's cute. Okay, hang on. All right, hear me out. Let me make sure I've got the right. Okay, here I am. All right. So let me move this over here. I'll put this here and I'll make this bigger. All right. This evening, DeSantis is going to be announcing his candidacy at 6 p.m. Well, at 6 p.m., this is what it's going to look like in the sky. And there's a giant T-square. So you've got Pluto, which is about power. Now, we've talked about plutonium. It can warm the toes and cocoa of millions of people in a city, or it can explode and level the place for 10,000 years. That's the power of Scorpio. All right, that's what we have in each one of us. We can be incredibly helpful and useful, and it's about the power we have in ourselves, and we can use it for good or for ill. All right. Well, where Pluto is in the sky right now, it's over here, so it's just still barely in Aquarius, but it is directly across from Mars, which is how you take action. Martial, the soldier, the spear, the masculinity in the traditional sense of forward movement, go out hunting, fight the enemy, that kind of thing. So when two things are opposite each other, they're on a seesaw. So the let's take charge, it's kind of hard to grab onto this power, because the more action you take, the power's a little bit less. And then when you feel like you've got more power, you just have trouble taking action. And both of that seesaw is in a square. So grinding against, it's the grinding that creates a pearl. Both of those are grinding against Jupiter, which is expansion, luck, expansion, hot air when it's bad, open-mindedness when it's good, but we're talking about Ron DeSantis. And so the energy of this Mars-Pluto is dumping out through this big, showy, expansive blowhard in this case. And it's also right there with the north node that's in the sky, which is what we're supposed to be doing, what we are here to do, our work order. So this power and action problem is dumping out through expansive Jupiter, but also the north node. Kind of makes it hard to get stuff done. All right. And you think, well, that's bad. Now, there's some good things where that seesaw energy is actually dumping out in a more positive way into his sun, into Saturn, his sense of self, and Neptune, which is a vision, can be delusional, but it's a vision. So there's some good off ramps for that energy, but the main energy is not great. And you'd think, okay, well, that's bad. And I've also explained quite a few times to you guys that you don't even have to really know astrology with modern technology when it comes to like when these kind of charts are created. You just put the information in, the program makes a chart, and you can look. The first thing you can do is just look at it. Do you see more red or do you see more blue? Red is going to be more challenging aspects. Blue is going to be more supportive aspects. All right. And you look at this and you're like, well, there's obviously some kind of big red triangle thing going on, but there's lots of blue as well. Okay. Maybe it's not all bad. Nah. All right. That's just today at 6 o'clock. And that affects what's in this chart right here. That affects everybody. Oh, we're going to talk about the letter from 45 lawyers to the DOJ. We'll get there. We're going to get there. All right. So this is, you'd think, okay. And this is what's going to, this is this evening. Okay. This is energy that any of us can use if we start something at 6 o'clock Eastern time. So you think, okay, well, but what does that tell us? What does that tell us about how will this announcement at this time, which becomes the chart for his entire run for the presidency, does it work well with his own chart? Because he's going to be working day in and day out for months and months and months. So if this energy works with him, it complements him, it boosts him up, that's one thing. If it's negative, challenging, then that just grinds him down and down and grinding every time he turns around. So you're like, okay, well, let's compare the two. When you put one chart, you put one chart up and then you put the other chart over it. It's called the synastry, S-Y-N, synastry. And you can see how the two play off of each other. You can think of it like people or events or something are like a permanent transit in your life. In the same way, when the sun goes over your sun, it's your birthday, your sense of self. The sun in the sky empowers your sense of self and makes you feel powerful on your birthday. That's a transit because it's moving. Well, different people bring out good and bad aspects of you. And to some extent, they're with their own charts, in a sense, they become like these permanent transits in bringing out these different parts of yourself. All right, so let's look at, you put them together. So what is Ron DeSantis next year and a half going to look like? All right, do we have more blue, more supportive aspects? Do we have more red, more challenging aspects? Okay. This is the chart for his run. It looks like a 5 of Wands. all chaos and chaotic. That's a mess. Matter of fact, I even started doing the graphics on this one, adding the graphics to explain some things. And there were so many, I just ran out of time. I mean, there's no way I could do them all. So let me explain just a few. Yeah, it looks like, John France, looks like a ball of yarn. Yeah, it looks like a mostly red ball of yarn too. Okay, let me explain to you just how bad this is for DeSantis. I mean, oh boy. Carolyn Ochoa says that's a mess. Yes, it is. Alexander Bellino says, oof. Yeah. Lisa Carolyn says chaos. Yes. Oh, let me explain. All right. Let me, if I use the position thing, I should be able to, there, we'll do this one at a time because I tried to make the different, I try to make the different aspects I'm talking about. I tried to make them different layers. So there. Okay, hopefully that helps. All right, here's just one random thing. The blue circle with all the things in blue here, that's Ron DeSantis's chart. We don't have a birth time, so we're not looking at the houses or anything like that. And we're not really looking at the moon because the moon moves 13.5 degrees out of a 360-degree circle every day. So it could be more one way or the other. Yeah, somebody tells me he's an Aquarius moon, which would on the downside would be robotic and cold. If he was born late, I'm not even sure how close, if there's enough space there for it to actually go into Pisces, that would make him sensitive, generally more sensitive. So I think we can safely say the moon's in Aquarius. But anyway, all right. I put this in, this should be in red, but I put it in orange just to not confuse with some of the other aspects. So the power in his chart, the Pluto right here. The Pluto right here. Actually, I'm going to change this so I don't confuse. Let's make it purple. No. I'm going to make it a weird green color. All right. This is the power in DeSantis's chart, his own Pluto, right? It is, see there's a red line underneath here. It is square, so grinding against that 90-degree action. It is going to be square Venus in the sky. Venus in the sky is where the world is, in a sense. This is this outer ring with things in red. That's the energy of the world right now. So right now, if you go through the keywords related with Cancer, that's what this symbol is, and you would probably find that there's a lot of what and how we love. There's a lot of kind of Cancer caring sort of around in the world right now. Well, DeSantis' sense of power, his own sense of power, is grinding against the overall sense of what and how we love. So we don't like you. And the more power you have, the more we don't like you. It's just, you have power, we have what we like. We have what we're feeling. And you ain't it, dude. All right, so there's that. Then there's more. Oh, it gets worse. It gets worse. All right, let's do position. Let's go back one. All right, there is one kind of positive-ish thing, and that is that his sun, his sense of self, which is also near his North Node, his work, what he's supposed to be doing in this life, is actually in a positive aspect with Uranus in the sky, the rebel that rules Aquarius, that is the maverick. And so he's thinking, his sense of self, he's feeling like, I'm the maverick, I'm the gadfly, I'm the person who can shake things up, I'm the revolutionary this country needs. No, not necessarily, but that's what he's feeling. That's what his sense of self is right now. All right. So it's like, all right, so that's how you're going to conduct yourself, huh? All right, all right. Oh, this is one of my favorite parts. We'll have to go in really close into this little tiny thing right over here. We're going to zoom in and we're going to go right here. All right. Do you see this red oval right there? You said, Lisa, does that mean that DeSantis is an entertainer? No, not necessarily, no. But okay, you see this? You see this oval right here? Okay. Remember, the blue is DeSantis and the red is kind of what's going on in the world. And this is the energy DeSantis is going to be dealing with for the next year and a half. Okay. This looks like the letter K with a circle on the bottom. This is an asteroid. It's called Chiron. Very large for an asteroid. Chiron is the wounded healer. He was in mythology, he was a centaur, but he was struck with a magic arrow that gave him a wound that cannot heal. And because he always knew pain, he became a healer. And he helped so many others because he knew what pain was. All right. But there is this part of us, in all of us, somewhere it's usually pointed to by this, where your Chiron is in your chart, where you have a wound that you just got a really soft spot. You've got an Achilles heel. You've got, and you can get therapy and you can work on it. And that's great. But we all have this kind of soft spot where people press on that particular spot and it just stings. It just hurts. And if it's badly aspect in your chart, it can really be devastating. So that's where DeSantis's Chiron is right there. Well, right there is this little guy. And I mean, this is like down to the minute in the same place. This is about as tight a conjunction as you can get. So what is that symbol? Well, let's think about this for a second. Let me ask you a rhetorical question. What is the single most important practical thing about being a politician? Without this thing, you cannot be a politician. One vitally, vitally important thing. Communication. If you are a politician and you can't communicate, or communication isn't going well, you can't get anywhere. Money's great. Having people on the inside is great, what have you, but a politician communicates. A politician speaks. Without that, you got nothing. You can't even get to any of the other stuff. Nobody knows if you're likable. Nobody knows. You can't raise money, right? So communication of the country, of the world, of this moment of time. So this because he's going to be dealing with this energy for the next year and a half. Communication in the world is just pounding on his wound that will not heal. Whatever that is. I mean, his Mercury is not in a great aspect. We'll get to that in a minute. But the communication around him and in his campaign is just going to, whatever soft spot he has, it's just going to beat on that soft spot for a year and a half. Yeah. It gets worse. Okay, ready? Carol's asking, where's the Satan's Mercury and Venus? There's his, in this chart that don't have a birth time, but you can actually see his Venus at about 9 o'clock and his Mercury is at about 10 o'clock. Well, I think that's next. Okay, but it gets worse. I'm serious, it gets worse. There's like one other thing and then the biggest thing. All right, let me back this out. All right. So if I back this up, oh, something fell down. There we go. All right, this is the next thing, and this isn't even the worst thing. We haven't even hit the worst thing yet, and it's a doozy. All right, hang on. Let me see if I can get out of this. Come on, work with me here. Okay. All right. You know how I talked about the seesaw effect, where you try to do one, but it strengthens the other, but then it weakens the. It's like one gets higher, one gets stronger, but only at the expense of the other side, and then it just does this, the seesaw effect. Well, DeSantis himself, he has got Saturn, which is limitations. It is fences, it is time, it is everything that forms, it is checklists, and just, let's put it this way. Donald Trump has his Venus, how his ability to love, his ability to feel love, his ability, all of that. His Saturn, dour, grim reaper, father time. No, it's not really grim reaper. It's more father time. Saturn is right on top of his Venus, which severely curtails his ability to love and be loved. Makes him transactional. Well, here, that same limitation is on DeSantis's communication. And this is in his own chart. So he's been dealing with this all of his life. He does not speak well. He really doesn't speak well. And the good thing about Saturn is if you do the work, if you're willing to make the sacrifices, you will be rewarded. But he doesn't do that. Well, so he's dealt all his life with this Saturn energy, this limiting energy on his communication. But as of 6 o'clock this evening, when he announces, or just thereafter, he has Saturn opposite, Saturn in the sky, opposite this in his chart, which just reinforces the limitations, the limits, the structure, the persnicketyness, this is just, it's not good. It's a wet blanket. Saturn is the wet blanket. You do not invite Saturn to the party. You do not. Unless it's a wrap party for work well done, and then it'll still be a very dour party. Other than that, do not invite Saturn to the party. Saturn is the wet blanket. So he's dealing with that as of 6 o'clock. And then it gets worse. But wait, there's more. Hang on. There's more. I'm not kidding. You ready for this? Are you ready for this? Remember the 90-degree, right? Remember the whole 90-degree thing about it being grinding? It's energy. It's the grinding energy. If it's the grit that makes the pearl is the nice way to put it. All right. When you have got two things at 90 degrees away from each other, like down here and like at 6 o'clock here to 3 o'clock there, that's 90 degrees. These two things will be grinding against each other. Okay. And then we talked earlier about when things are opposite each other, you get the seesaw effect. And then if there's a right if there's a 90-degree angle coming off of it, it's called a T-square. So it's like a T. But if you have two oppositions that are square to each other, you have what's called a grand cross. Grand crosses are not fun. All of this energy, everything around these 4 points, all this energy is messing with the other energy, either making it seesaw, grinding against it, and usually because of, well, just because of the way it's laid out, grand crosses are usually in one of the 3, well, let's put it this way. I explained before that in each quadrant, that I don't have the full, actually, I don't have the full, hang on. Let me put this up. Okay. See this? Let me remove that for a second. Okay. This is important. This is important. Hear me out. Hear me out. In each of these, there are 4 quadrants in this circle, right? Three in each. And when something first comes into a quadrant, because this goes counterclockwise, so when somebody first comes into a quadrant, this first sign, whatever the first sign is in that quadrant, this is called the cardinal sign. It's the one that takes action. And think of it, it's like I'm going into a new quadrant, all right? Then when you have whatever's in the middle sign in the quadrant, right, is saying, I am fixed. I am not going anywhere. This is my quadrant. I'm stubborn and I'm not going anywhere. Okay. And then in the last sign in the quadrant down here, you have what's called mutable signs, which is kind of like I need to get kind of loosey-goosey and relax and go with the flow because I'm moving out and we're going into the next quadrant. Okay. So if you have a grand cross, boom, where you've got all of this energy grinding against each other on a seesaw with the others, just all this misery. Where's the worst part you would want it? Which of those 3 do you think? The one that's goes with the flow, can work it out? The one that wants to move forward? Or would the worst one be fixed, stubborn, not moving? Fixed, right? That'd be the worst. Guess what DeSantis has? Yeah. He has got, this idiot has a fixed grand cross between his chart and the chart for this evening at 6 p.m. when he announces his presidency. Yes, indeed, my friends. So you have this chart, which is, I mean, he may not just say it's exactly 6 o'clock. It may be a little bit after 6, but I'm not even dealing with the houses here, or I didn't even talk about the moon. This is just bad. And this, based on what I'm seeing here, Ron DeSantis' entire presidential run is going to be misery for him. Yeah. And I could not be happier about it. Communications are going to beat on this his sensitive spot. It's just Pluto in the sky is messing with his lucky Jupiter. You even get the North Node in the sky involved. I mean, it's just bad for him. So I had to share. I know it's a lot, but I had to share because just look at it. And I may think the things that are in red and yellow are only in red and yellow, so it didn't confuse the so you could really see the grand cross. But the things that are in orange and yellow, the things that are orange and yellow there, they should be in red too. It's awful. Anne says, my Schadenfreude is yelling very loudly, and I am about to roll on the floor in fits of laughter. It's going to be miserable. Oh, and yes, he very much is a Virgo. He's the nasty side of Virgo. Ron DeSantis is the nasty side of Virgo, who back in the 50s, there was a whole lot of conformity going on in the 50s. And I mean, there were exceptions, but on the whole, it's because Pluto was in Virgo, and Virgo is the craftsperson of the zodiac. Right here, Virgo. Virgo is the craftsperson. This is the house, the wedge. This is the wedge of this. It's called a house. This is a house of the craftsperson, your daily work, also can be your health. But think of meticulous Japanese craftsmanship. That's Virgo all day long, where everything is just so. And when Virgo is good, Virgo is amazing. Where it is like a Japanese craftsperson where you're just watching going, wow. Oh, they're really good. Or they're in medicine or something, and they're just really good. It's amazing. When they go bad, you will conform. Remember all those black and white videos? Those black and white little short films from the 50s where it was how to stay clean and neat, how to have good posture, how to balance how to be a secretary. That's Virgo. Alan says, I live with an amazing, beautiful Virgo. Great. And I agree, Dr. Nancy. A good Virgo, it can just be impeccable. Yes. So DeSantis is the you will conform. That whole 1950s, you will conform, you will stay in your place. There is a set way to do things, and that's it. I mean, I thought it was funny when there was a video I was watching a long time ago. I forget even where it was from, but there was a mother, there was a family talking, and one of the children was talking about, hey mom, back in the day during like the Vietnam War or whatever, people were burning their draft cards. And she just looked up and she said, but that's a government document. You should not destroy a government document. And I was like, oh, spot the Virgo. And yes, indeed, she was. It was just like, of everything about the Vietnam War and burning your draft card, her first thought was, it is a government document. You do not destroy government documents. I love that. That warmed my heart. That warmed my heart. So anyway, and my son is in that wedge, that sixth house I showed you over here. My son, it's in Scorpio, but it's in that wedge. So I've got this backdrop energy of Virgo, which I love it. I love it. Darren says Virgos can be very, very demanding and perfectionist. Difficult to deal with. It can be. My rising sign is Virgo. There you go. Yeah. Selma says, I am a Virgo. Lola Bell says, Keanu Reeves is a Virgo. Nice. And I always go back to the best way I can describe it is talking about the Japanese craftsmanship, because it is the best in the world. I mean, it just is. Bless you, Germans. You do a great job. But when it comes to just in general, and I'm not saying that Japan's perfect, I'm just saying when it comes to craftsmanship of these objects in your daily life, and nobody holds a candle to the Japanese. That is the beauty. That is the beauty. And man, can they create it. So anyway, all right. So I'll move on to the other questions I'll pull out the cards and I'll read, but I know that took a while, but I really wanted you to see just how bad it's going to be for him. I mean, bad. Kelly says, my guy's a Virgo, a builder. I had to remind him, very good is good enough. Yeah. Oh, there are my cards. There they are. Okay. All right. I'm going to pull out Old Faithful. Lullabelle says Garbo was a Virgo. Makes sense? Oh, thank you, Sandy Miller. All right. So, worst astrology possible. That was just bad. Oh, it's going to be glorious to watch. Okay. At 40, yikes, 41:45. And what questions I don't get to today, I will roll over to tomorrow. So, DeSatan's $13.5 million police program lures officers with violent records to Florida. You will conform. Great. Thank you, Joyce. I don't actually, if it's okay, Eileen, I'm gonna, you put up two questions. That was the one headline you gave, and I don't know that I really want to read on it, just because, is it going to be bad? Yeah. But your other question, how will the population of Florida feel about DeSantis now? How will this play on the national circuit? Well, I'd like to read on his 43. I'd like to read on his announcement, because all of these things are going to be held up. Oh, DeSantis. Presidential run. Run, DeSantis, run. Oh, man. Dr. Nancy says, my ex was cusp in Virgo. Impeccable artist. Made me feel like a slob. Mm-hmm. Sorry. Okay. Chrissy Buckingham says he's extremely popular in Florida. Oh, yes, amongst a narrow demographic. And the fact is, look, don't come for me. I know there are good boomers. I know there are boomers who have fought the good fight their whole lives for civil rights, for human rights, for excellent causes to help the needy. Bless you, bless you, bless you. Now, but talking about that demographic overall, the boomers are not the biggest generation in this country anymore. Now it's the millennials, currently about 27 to 42, the biggest demographic in this country. Deborah says he has whole villages of idiots. I love that. It's awesome. So how's it going to go? Is it going to be as gloriously awful as the astrology says it's going to be? Knight of Wands. Oh yeah, go up there. Yeah, please talk about your far-right agenda. How you're going to change the country. You're going to wind back the clock to heinousness. Go ahead. Go. We'll wait. Go. Take the stage. Go ahead. Hierophant. Oh, institutionalizing. Knight of Pentacles. Six of Cups. This is nostalgia. Seven of Swords. That's the Thief card. And Queen of Pentacles. There are some people who do have some really twisted idea of the past and wanting to go back to it. But those people can take their whites only signs and put them where it's never anything but really, really dark. But the rest of us, we just want sanity, and we remember sanity. Especially those of us, fist bump, everybody, who voted for Barack Obama. We know what a sane president looks like. Someone we can be proud of. Someone who is a truly good human being. Yeah, we remember that. And you want to take away rights and give more money to the wealthy, well, except for big companies that don't follow your twisted views of, and you want to institutionalize the whole thing. Will there be some people who listen? Some. But, oh, Gretchen, I'm with you. I so miss Barack. Yes. I do too. And his lovely wife. Five of Wands. Far-right chaos. Also remember, as more and more Republicans get into the race, it's going to start diluting the numbers a little bit. Just a little bit. And then they start going after each other. As far as I'm concerned, best part of politics? No. The best part of politics is Democrats winning on messages of restoring human rights, increasing human rights, helping those who are the least fortunate. The second greatest thing about politics is watching the other side attack each other during the primaries. Popcorn for days. Betty Cantrell winning. All right, Eight of Cups. Tower. Eight of Swords. King of Pentacles. Hanged Man. You're running for president and these are your cards. Major Arcana. This is people voting for Democrats, so the person in red has to walk away. This is a Tower moment. I wonder if he'll even make it through the primaries. Hemmed in, but I'm a good staunch Republican, and suspension of the candidacy. So he says, yikes, that's bad. Yeah. Kathy Ritchie says, I can't read cards, but this is bad. Yeah. Yeah. All right, we've got one more DeSantis question. What's more specifically about Florida? But man, oh day. Roxana's. Yes. The only times I agree with. Yeah, really, the only times I agree with the Orange Menace himself, the Orange Fuhrer, is when he's attacking DeSantis or the others. Well, not always. When he's attacking the Republicans in ways that are really true. How about that? All right, so the question here is will DeSatan's craziness evacuate Florida faster than climate change? Will there be a huge demographic shift out of state? This is like two cockroaches fighting. Yeah. And just disgusting. All right. Hey, it's a great. Florida's a great place if you've swilled the covfefe. If you've just drunk it all down. Nine of Cups. 3 of Pentacles. King of Wands. Ace of Wands. 3 of Swords. The people, they've set up businesses there. They have family there. They've had family there for generations. And then comes cruel DeSatan with his plan of more cruelty and makes it just an ugly place to be. And Lori from The Way of Positive Change is in Florida. And do you know how long it took her to recover from the hurricane that went through? Because the help was so awful. It was just terrible. See, there are people, there are a lot of people, they've got really deep roots. I mean, I love Chicago, but I'm not in a hurry to move. Even if I had a really great opportunity somewhere else, I'd have to think about it because my family's here. So, you know, Queen of Cups. Oh, yeah, and the Democrats are off to the side, like, oh, do you see that? Ooh, oh, burn. Ooh, burn. Yeah, not literal. Chariot. Well, it's also an opportunity for Democrats. Chariot, 9 of Wands, 10 of Pentacles. Well, Florida is about to be rolled out. Here's the parade float to show what the rest of the country could be if just Satan gets more power. I think we need to keep an eye on the tourist numbers, because if the tourist numbers in Florida start going down, eventually you will get companies leaving. You will get people moving out of state. But the bellwether, the forward indicator is going to be tourism numbers. And I don't know that Disney numbers are going to count, because people who love Disney might be going there to try to help Disney. But in the rest of the state, there are other places with sun and beaches. Mm-hmm. Finzenberger says, thanks for the DeSantis chart. This thing with the police is bad, and worse. I'm sorry. And it says tourism is what keeps Florida alive. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, Joyce Matthews, make America Florida. Oh, terrifying. Okay. Now we have to get to this. Because little low vibration Diddums has done something really stupid. Peg Sanders and Revolution Ricky were asking about it, but I would have read on this for anybody, anytime, anywhere. 55 minutes in. Let's let me see if I can. Headline. Justice Roberts. Deciding to build a fence to protect the court was harder than deciding to rescind Roe v. Wade. Get stuffed. All right. Where is the thing about Trump was... RawStory reports Trump's lawyer sent a letter demanding a meeting with Merrick Garland, which is just hysterical. There we go. Found it. All right. Let's look at it together, shall we? Oh, sorry. Very big gust of wind. All right, hang on. Let me turn this off and share screen. Over on RawStory. Okay, let's read it together. Trump post letter demanding Merrick Garland meeting over outrageous and unlawful investigations. Former President Donald Trump posted to his Truth social platform on Tuesday evening, showing a copy of a letter from his attorneys, whoever they are, who cares? Oh, one of them is really named Jim Trusty? No. Jim Trusty. I'm sorry, a letter from his attorneys, John Rowley and Jim Trusty. If you put these names in a book, in a novel about everything Trump has done, you wouldn't be allowed to keep the names. Your editor would be like, no, just no. So Jim Trusty, anyway, demanding a meeting with Attorney General Merrick Garland, demanding a meeting over the federal investigations being conducted by Special Counsel Jack Smith. We represent Donald J. Trump and the Lollipop Guild. We represent Donald J. Trump, the 45th President of the United States, in the investigation currently being conducted by the Special Counsel's Office. Unlike President Biden's son, Hunter, and the Biden family, President Trump is being treated unfairly. No president of the United States has ever in the history of our country been baselessly investigated in such an outrageous and unlawful fashion. We request a meeting at your earliest convenience, sir, to discuss the ongoing injustice that is being perpetrated by your special counsel and his prosecutors. I have a gauntlet. Thwack, thwack. Smith is working on 2 major investigations involving Trump, the circumstances involving the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol, and the stash of highly classified documents concealed from federal investigators at Mar-a-Lago. And the letter comes amid reporting from the Wall Street Journal that Smith is approaching the finish line for the documents investigation. Oh, and suddenly you want a meeting, do you? Unlike President Biden and his son, Hunter, and the Biden family, President Trump is being treated unfairly. What a load of garbage. What a bunch of garbage. Oh my gosh. Joyce Matthews asking, so when is Jim Trusty hiring his lawyer? MAGA. Okay, so, meeting, huh? Meeting. Blah Bell says, once a meeting? That's a blink. Yeah. The magician. Go ahead, stand up, trustee. Spout what he told you. Go ahead, stand up. Stand up. Nine of Cups. Ace of Pentacles. Wheel of Fortune. Three of Cups. And a big old Justice card. Oh, it's glorious. Okay, first of all, they have all the evidence laid out. This isn't even collecting evidence anymore. This is my card of evidence. Exhibit A, B, C, D, E, F. This is the gall. This is the nerve. And then this is a too late jerk. The Wheel of Fortune is turning. We are going to be very happy. And there's a big old major arcana right between the Wheel of Fortune and the Justice card is us being very happy. You know what? I don't know. I'm not saying they won't accept a meeting as long as it's recorded or under oath. Sure. So is oh, so stupid. Pretty in Blue says, actually, it's normal to request a meeting before the indictment. Yep, indictment. Yes, Lisa. As long as there's a deposition, hey, yeah, let's get together. Five of Pentacles. Oh, are you out in the cold? It feels like you're too late, jerk. You're too late. Too late. You blew it. You're too late. Hermit. As in, you have been sitting over there. I'm not gonna help. I'm not going to cooperate. Blah 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 blah. Three of Swords, and that has not been good for you. There's a Death card right in the middle, not literal. There is a Two of Wands. By the way, they have communications and everybody you talk to. And there's a Page of Swords, you little bully wannabe. Well, guess what? This isn't the expensive military school your father sent you to because you were such a heinous bully. And it's not going to help you now. You are too late. Bye. We shall be contacting you probably through the press with indictments and then through your lawyers. Glorious. Larry Murray says, according to Joyce Vance, who is awesome, a meeting could help prosecution. She also said they should be meeting with Smith. Hey, if you can get Trump under oath, at this, you have to tell the truth. Yeah. There was one question. It is Wednesday, I'm afraid. So I've got to. I've been on for more than an hour, but and questions I didn't get to today are rolling over to tomorrow. So don't worry. But there was one question here I definitely wanted to cover. Okay, so that was the meeting. And there was something else down here. Oh, let's do something cute. Let's just do something cute just for the end of the day. Because this has been pretty good news. The astrology and the tarot today has been really good news. And that's nice. But let's end on something cute just to even boost us up even more. All right. At 1:05:30, Nanette Couch asked yesterday, 1:05:30, just for fun. When we talk to our cats, like we understand what their meows mean, do they think we're idiots, or are they just politely playing along? Because when you've got multiple cats, they talk to each other. They know what their meows mean. So when we talk to them, like we know what their meows mean, are they like, oh, it's a good thing you bring me food because, wow, you're not very bright, are you? Hey, Lisa, there's an idea. I wonder if the Jan 6 choir will sing at the Trump meeting with Garland. Alexander says, I know each meow sound. Yeah, I mean, we roughly do. I just thought this was interesting. Anna says, my 7-month-old is teaching me kitty. Yeah. Do they see us as just very limited, not very bright? And we eat this stuff where we're obviously going to die. They have no idea how we've lived this long. How many times have you had a cat smell something you're eating and be like, look at you like, oh, you're not very bright, are you? You don't even know what food is. Cat Shepherd asks, ever wondered what your cat named you? I don't know. 4 of Wands. 6 of Cups. Oh, very sweet energy. Chariot. Oh, this energy is so sweet. I want to play. I want to cuddle. I like my home. Queen of Cups. Hanged Man. It's not that big a deal is what it feels like. We take care of them. We're good to them. We care. And they get to play and run around and they know they're safe. Yeah, we don't always communicate well, but we communicate well enough. I just want to be loved. And I know all of you love your pets. So I will leave you with something cute I saw on a short. There's a channel on YouTube and TikTok. It's called Baddies and Budgets. Anyway, this woman, she goes through this little ASIC binder she has once a week, and she does cash envelopes for budgeting. And one of them just says RICO, RICO, and it's like RICO. And I'm thinking Trump, RICO charges. She's like, all right, there's $50 in the RICO envelope, and I'm not putting any more in. And I don't want to hear about it anymore, that I don't spend enough on RICO because, man, he's a turtle. He lives like a king. I do not doubt it. Since she's been, fixing her finances and everything, he has a new tank. He has all this stuff. Man, he's a turtle. And he lives like a king. No, there wasn't $50 in there. She said he costs about $50 a year, and he lives like a king. Yeah, Rico the turtle. Anyway, it's adorable. But Baddies and Budgets, she's really good. She's really good. So I highly recommend her channel. Anyway, all right. That's going to do it for me for today. Thank you so much. And it's 1:32 p.m. here in Chicago. At 3 o'clock, if I'm not on, Sarah's going to be on for at least a couple of sprints this afternoon. But she's starting at 3, and I'll be there shortly after. Yeah, and that should do it for today. But don't forget Saturday night for patrons. Do think about becoming a patron. I don't have super expensive tiers, so if you go down into the description box, there's a link, or do hit the like or subscribe button. And I'll be right back here tomorrow. And this Saturday night is our monthly meet and greet. So if you become a patron, come on screen. Come on. It's just a group. It doesn't become public. Come on screen and we talk. We get to see each other. We can meet some of these lovely people you've seen in the chat all the time. Anyway, so that's Saturday night from 8 to 10 p.m. All right, and that's going to do it. So have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. You're not alone. We are in this together, all of us. And there are some good days ahead. There are good days ahead. All right, hang in there. And I'll see you right back here tomorrow.